brothers, but not by birth. Family, but not by DNA. David and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
So I think I learned a valuable lesson this weekend, Adam. I always use landscape mode when filming a YouTube video. Because, I mean, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's not bad. I thought it was a great video.
And also, I need some more transition shots, because the shots when I panned from one side of the stadium and then did another pan, it's a jump cut. And as a broadcast guy, jump cuts are like my worst enemy.
Really?
But by the way,
Yeah.
Phenomenal Brother,
That's me.
House of Mouse,
Yep.
Adam Russell, St. Cloud, all that fun stuff.
You got it.
Human Jukebox, Golden Voice of the South, Dave Adams all the way, Top of the State, Madison, blah, blah, blah. That's me. We're here. So
you're referencing our newest YouTube video when you say that.
I am referencing...
Shameless plug for our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I did it. You missed my opening clip you didn't put in.
Opening clip.
Where I'm in the car with Ellie, like before we leave Tuscaloosa.
You went Facebook Live on that. I don't think you sent that to me.
No, that was on your... That was the very first thing I sent you. At 7 o'clock in the morning.
We'll have to see about that.
Central
Okay.
Time.
Anyway, continue.
But if you haven't been on our... We have two new things. Two new pieces of media out there. Media.
Two pieces of media.
Two pieces of media out there for you to go and bask in our glory. As a wrestling reference for those non-wrestling people. There's a wrestler whose theme song, he's a big guy named Keith Lee. He goes, "You get to bask in my glory." So, anyway.
I was just going to let that sit. That was nice.
His theme song is "Bask in His Glory." Anyway, so what did you think about the Big Tom's Tailgate blog there, Adam?
I liked it personally. I thought it was good for you to share a piece of your family and something that probably a lot of people who know the show but don't know you that well.
Yeah,
they got to learn something about you. And I like the pictures especially. I like I'm putting my band uniform on with my mom picture. That was cool. It's one of those moments. Honestly, looking at that picture of you, I can see why everybody thought we were brothers.
yeah,
Because that honestly could have been me standing there.
it really
That was the thing that struck me the most. It was funny.
Well, that was about 3 or 4 months before you and I started hanging out.
Yeah.
Because it was the Christmas, or I guess they call that the spring semester, when you and I first started hanging out. So what I find funny about that is looking back at all those pictures. I mean, this is the 20th anniversary of Big Tom's Tailgate.
Yep.
Dang it, I'm old. But looking at how we started in the back of a 1997 Ford Explorer with no tailgate chairs, we had one table, and now we've got a 60-inch TV, surround sound, microwave, beer tap, 4 tents. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
Heck
Yeah,
man.
it is. And it was very sad having to write that one blurb about Otis, because Otis was my boy,
Yeah.
but he will live forever in infamy on a caricature.
There you go.
You know what?
What's
We might do a Big Tom's Tailgate sponsored shirt,
You think so?
because the pictures are still on the website. We could just upload that to Spreadshirt, can't we?
We can make whatever you want, Dave. As our merchandise coordinator, you can figure out what our entire product line is.
We could do the Unrelated at Birth logo on the front with Big Tom's Tailgate on the back.
And can I Photoshop in our big heads like hidden somewhere in the back?
If whatever floats your boat, Adam.
So you're the merchandise coordinator, but I'm the product designer, right?
But,
so
but the problem with that is you've never been to Big Tom's Tailgate.
I have not.
So there's no, even when you were in Tuscaloosa, you never came to Big Tom's Tailgate.
I did not.
I don't think you did, and that's.
I don't know that anybody ever said, "Hey, come to Big Tom's Tailgate."
Yeah, there were plenty of times where you were invited to come tailgate.
I don't know about that. You drink your bourbon.
Yeah. Anyways, although, hey, Adam.
Yeah.
You are invited to come to Big Tom's Tailgate for the LSU game.
Just that game, no others?
No, you have an open invitation, but
okay, cool.
Here's what I'm saying: why the LSU game's a big deal. We're actually doing the 20th anniversary celebration that game.
Oh yeah,
for Big Tom's Tailgate. We're actually doing a Low Country shrimp boil.
Oh, that's cool.
For the
nice.
game, and it's going to be a fun game to do.
Are you taking up a collection for Tua's medical bills?
He can have my ankle. That's for all I.
He can have my Achilles if he wants it. It won't do him much good, but he can have it.
Yeah, I know, right? My thigh right now is. I think I've hurt my IT band from all this. Well, from all the walking. I mean, last week I was at Disney. Or I guess last week and a half I was at Disney.
Yep.
I walking all around Tuscaloosa. My IT band is burning, man. Like
consistently and constantly, or periodically and infrequently.
When I'm actually moving a lot. Like I went and walk around. I mean, my walk is most people's slow run.
It's true.
I went and walked. I'd say probably about 5 miles on a treadmill on Friday, and by about mile 4, my IT band was just killing me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I've got some icy hot. It's going to be.
That's what you need, man. Some biofreeze.
Might have to bathe in that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But so we got 2 things we could talk about. I mean, we need to give them the recap of the Disney trip because we kind of told them it was coming. And then a very, very important trailer came out just last night. I have my tickets for the Star Wars movie. Do you yet?
I do not yet. I'm waiting for our local theater to put them on sale.
They haven't put them on sale yet?
No, it's a small little joint, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they usually do it on the day. I was trying to call them today and they didn't answer. But
really,
yeah, we'll figure it out. There's so many theaters like around here that there's one that still has plenty of seats that's over in the Kissimmee area. So
yeah,
if the local one doesn't work out, we'll just go there.
The one thing I want to do is there's the theater at Disney Springs.
Yeah,
they are doing 27 hours of Star Wars leading up to the premiere of this. Sign me up, please.
Really?
All 9 prequels, plus Solo, plus Rebellion, or plus Rogue One. All of them.
Yeah. If they were showing them in release order, where I could watch New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, and then sleep through the next 2, and then watch Revenge of the Sith. If they were doing that kind of a thing, I could probably get behind it, but I can't start with the 2 worst ones and then sleep through something else later. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay. Knowing you as I do.
Yes.
Before we start talking about the trailer. Not Big Tom's Tailgate trailer. The Rise
of Skywalker. Yes.
I need to know, gun to your head.
Oh, goodness.
Have to give your opinion now. George Lucas's prequels or Disney's sequels? Which was worse?
Which was worse?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and prepare myself for what's about to be probably the next 45 minutes of our life.
I might need to go refill my bourbon glass.
Honestly, I understand a lot of people's beef with The Last Jedi. I do understand it. I don't completely agree with it. I enjoyed that one a lot. But for me, it's not the prequels. I'm going to mark them as worse. I'm just going to go ahead and answer the question outright and then give a little bit of context.
Okay.
I'm going to mark the prequels as worse because as flawed as the story, a lot of people find the story of Last Jedi and the arc that things have taken so far and the way they handled Snoke, the characters and the portrayal of those characters is so much more, I'm going to use the word endearing and intriguing with the newer movies than the prequels. When I read on Facebook that there's potential for them to do a Darth Vader prequel series and that Hayden Christensen might reprise the role, part of me dies inside. Because that was hands down the worst casting to put him. Qui-Gon Jinn was spot on. Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor was spot on. And to have the main person you're supposed to feel by the end of Revenge of the Sith, you're supposed to feel torn that you don't want this person to be evil, but all you want to do is see Hayden Christensen burn in the lava at the bottom of that mountain by the time they finally get around to him having his legs chopped off in Revenge of the Sith. And Natalie Portman could not have been more bland. So you can balance it either way, right? Do you want to watch a bunch of Senate meetings in the prequels or a slow car chase in The Last Jedi? All of those kind of things kind of balance each other out in the end. For me, I care about Poe Dameron. If I'm a Star Wars fan, I care about Finn and Rey, and I want to know what her background is. I don't care about the way Hayden Christensen pulled off Anakin Skywalker.
Why do you care about Poe? There's no backstory for Poe. We have no. We just know that he flies an X-wing.
The way that he's portrayed, this is what a lot of people didn't like a lot about Last Jedi was the humor. I thought the way that it opened with Poe doing that whole "I'll hold for Hux," I thought that was hilarious.
I love that.
And I thought it was a very good portrayal of like how the Resistance now is just thumb your nose at it. We don't care. We're going to come at you. And I think that Poe's character is one that even if we don't have a lot of backstory, there's a lot of personality there that I think has the potential to develop. What I don't like about, and this will be the last part of my answer and I'll let you talk. What I don't like about what the new movies have done is I just finished the audiobook of Phasma.
So you finished it?
I finished it. And that was, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but that was in it, because I know you're listening to it now, but that was an incredible amount of backstory to put into a character that literally disappeared twice in 2 movies. And that was a character that really, based off of how they pulled off her character arc in that book, she could have been a major player in all of this, and she was a footnote. And I'm not happy about some of that stuff, but I still have to rank the prequels as worse just because of the way that they portrayed that. The movies have no heart. They have no emotion. They're just kind of bland. It's like eating crackers. And are you going to choose Club crackers or Ritz crackers between the prequels and the new ones, if you believe what a lot of people feel about Last Jedi, right?
I'll take some Ritz crackers. I will take me some Ritz crackers.
See, to me, the prequels are saltines. And we'll call the new ones Clubhouse. Right? They're better, but they're not as great as it could be, but people have such high expectations that honestly nothing they could do would meet it. And that's why, for me, watching the trailer, and I know we're going to talk about it in a minute, watching the trailer, I'm kind of metering myself throughout the whole thing, because it's like they're either going to hit it out of the park or everybody's going to be disappointed.
Force Awakens was J.J. Abrams, right?
It was.
The whole movie was fan service, which I loved.
Yeah.
That leads me to believe that this movie is going to be either all fan service or all thumb your nose at fan.
Well, I have to say, this movie at the end of the day is going to determine whether or not the new trilogy that they do with brand new characters, if they don't pull this off, no one's going to care anymore. I mean, I think everybody's going to say, okay, we're in that lull again like we were after the prequels where we don't need any more Star Wars movies. If they hit this one out of the park and it opens it up to like Infinity War, and Infinity War and Endgame opened up this whole new chapter and rounded out the first one so well that people are still excited about Marvel movies. They have a chance to do that with this, and I just hope they take it. So, Dave, how would you rank the prequels versus the new ones?
Honestly, so I have a hard time. I put Revenge of the Sith up there with 1, 2, or 3. Like, Revenge of the Sith is one of my top 3.
1, 2, or 3 being the original trilogy.
No, like it's one of my top 3 Star Wars.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So I have a hard time taking Revenge of the Sith and leaving it in its own category and having Phantom and I Hate Sand, Clone, whatever.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. I can't take them apart. So to me, I asked you to do an impossible thing because I can't do it. Because I have to see Rise of Skywalker before I can tell you which one is better.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the complete story of the sequels versus the prequels.
But that's the thing is I can tell you though that as much as people hate the slow car chase, and I put that in air quotes, from Last Jedi, I can tell you without a doubt that Rise of Skywalker will be a more entertaining movie to watch than any of the first 3, any of the prequels. It will be more entertaining and it will be more rewatchable. I don't think that the first ones can be rewatched that much.
I disagree with you. I can watch Revenge of the Sith anytime. Anytime it's on TV.
Okay, Revenge of the Sith, I'll give you at least that one, yeah. I'll give you that one.
Now,
I still think that this is what they have to get. This is what they have to get. Is Revenge of the Sith was a really good Star Wars movie up until the moment where Darth Vader did that
that was
thing.
Stupid.
That could have closed it out. It could have been that great moment. Think about Rogue One. Darth Vader right at the end coming down the hallway, just kicking everybody's butt. It could have been that kind of a moment, and they missed it. If Rise of Skywalker builds up to the climax and they miss it, I think that, to your point, the 3 new movies will be grouped and moved down to prequel level status if they miss the note at the end of this one. This one has to have a twist. It has to have something you didn't see coming, and it can't just be somebody getting cut in half. And oh, look, that worked out super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like that, right? I mean, it can't be like that.
Well, the problem is we all knew that Anakin was getting cut in half. We knew that he was getting burned. We all knew, like, they had to, right to the point in Revenge of the Sith, in the prequels. You know, it was all leading up to what we knew was there.
Yeah.
These sequels, it's all new stories. Now, where Disney has messed up, and I do think Disney has messed up.
Okay.
Where Disney has messed up is they didn't write all 3 movies out at one time. They said, all right, JJ, here's your first movie. All right, Ryan, here's your second movie. JJ's ending it here. And they had a third person writing this movie, and it luckily bombed, and they gave it back to JJ.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that they should have had one person writing all 3 movies and then letting different people direct it.
Well, I think they have an opportunity, though, to rectify that. They've heard enough feedback where they know where they went wrong. They've heard enough of the fanboy stuff where they know what not to do. They have Batuu to build off of now. They have all of the books and the stories that have been.
Batuu,
I'm telling you right now, I think that's where they have a chance to tie everything together. Mm-hmm. And Last Jedi is more of a blip than a consistent error that they make, because reading some of these books, they under the Disney umbrella, the Star Wars franchise has the storytelling capability to pull off something amazing. They just have to do it now and not get lost in. I think Last Jedi got lost a little bit too much in the message of Poe trying to learn, because Poe's going to be the leader now. Poe had to learn his lesson. Right. And a lot of that slow car chase type stuff was just for that purpose. But I think I would even make the argument, a lot of people make the argument that Indiana Jones had no impact in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Have you heard that one before?
No.
Okay, so Big Bang Theory is where I heard it, and I've actually read up on it a little bit. And if you take Indiana Jones out of Raiders of the Lost Ark, nothing changes. Because they still get the Ark, they still go to the island, they still open it. The only difference would be that it ends up in the warehouse instead of on an island where no one knows where it is. But everything would have happened exactly the same. They were still going to show up at the bar where Marion was. They still would have gotten the thing. So take that theory. I say the same
Raiders,
kind of thing.
Total tangent, but Raiders is the best of the Indiana Jones movies.
Last Crusade's my favorite.
That was all fan service, man.
Favorite. Oh, it was so good, though.
But it was great. It was great. But one of the best Indiana Jones scenes ever. Raiders, where they're in the market, And that guy comes out and he's doing the sword thing.
Yeah.
And Indy just does.
Do you know the story behind that?
It was ad-libbed, wasn't it?
He got food poisoning and he was really sick. And so when he's standing there sweating, looking tired, he really was. And the guy's doing that and he ad-libbed to just do that. And he's like, I'm done with this. And so it stuck, yeah. But for me, that kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of theory, I think you could take all 3 prequel movies and you could have consolidated that into one movie for the most part. Because we knew that Anakin was going to fall in love with Padme. Pod racing was a waste of time.
No.
Hold up. Hold up. Come on. Are we really going to do this?
Want to go pod racing?
It's a waste of time.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Dude, it was
a waste of time.
Okay.
This little kid gets in a starfighter in the middle of a battle and just happens to make a perfect shot. We already knew he was gifted. Those 3 movies taught us nothing about Anakin. We knew he was a great pilot. Obi-Wan told us that the first thing we ever heard about him.
But we know he created C-3PO. We didn't know that at first.
But then why does he say, I don't ever remember owning a droid, when Obi-Wan sees him later? It was never intended to be that way. That was just plugged in there so they could sell a different little version of 3PO as a toy. Anyway.
Come on, we got Watto.
See, that's my problem, is you can't understand what half of these people say in these movies. They're giving the money.
And then the little Mario things. You know, the little Koopa,
Mario things.
Yeah, the little Koopa things that are always in the Mario, the mushroom looking things.
Yeah.
That's what I think that the things Anakin has to fix in Watto's shop. Those look like Koopa Troopers.
Koopa Troopers or Goombas. That's what they were. Goombas, little brown guys, right?
Yeah. They look like Koopa Troopers.
Anyway, but they have an opportunity. I hope they take it. So why don't we talk about the opportunity that they could take by talking about the trailer?
Okay. So what are your thoughts on the trailer? Because I'll tell you, and I think Chris Papchek said it best. He said this on the Diz Dads. I was a little underwhelmed by the trailer, but I'm glad I was underwhelmed.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us anything.
You have no idea why they are anywhere that they are.
Right.
At the end of the day. It's more about, to me, the trailer was less about even understanding the plot, and it was more about the action slowly building while the music swelled to lead to that big moment at the end where you hear chorus and the fanfare and all of that, because it just gets you jazzed for it. But I have no clue. Go ahead.
Talking the end. I know that we hear Luke talking, and that's a Force ghost. We know that.
Yeah.
Is that Leia? That very last thing that you hear is a woman's voice.
I'm going to have to go back at it and catch that.
Here, let me see if I can find it. Is that Leia's voice as a force ghost?
Possibly. I mean, she can fly in space, so why not?
Don't get me started.
See, that's the thing. I will put flying in space up there with I Hate Sand as the most cringeworthy moment in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, you're okay with The Last Jedi.
I love that movie. The moment that makes it for me is when they blast everything, and Luke steps out and brushes the stuff off his shoulder. Yeah, that just, or the projection of him does.
All right, hold on.
Are you going to scroll through the whole thing?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
That's Leia.
That was Leia. Yeah.
Yep. And the only way you hear
found that quick. I'm impressed.
Well, because I knew that was the last thing, and so.
So, for me, again, the trailer was less about knowing what's going on and more about you're seeing the visuals, you're starting to form a thing, an idea. And everybody's talking about the ghost ship from Rebels is in that one scene and all the things. But here's the thing I don't get. Why does the Millennium Falcon have a round dish again?
Right.
Please tell me this doesn't involve time travel.
So, did you see what Logan said on his Facebook wall?
No.
He said it's time travel.
Oh, I mean, man.
So the Falcon, the Falcon has a dish again.
Yeah. I mean, it had the rectangular one, like it has in the land. It has a rectangular one, but the round one is that one got knocked off in the Death Star battle in Return of the Jedi.
Right. So,
what's going on? Because, so my theory is, and we can kind of tie these two together, all this wreckage is obviously a version of the Death Star.
Right.
And we see her on the forest moon of Endor at the beginning, in theory. And the forest moon is of the planet Endor. Endor is a gas giant. And it's kind of a bluish color. So I think that's the wreckage of where the second Death Star got sucked down into Endor's gravity. and the Emperor was in the Death Star because he got thrown down the shaft. The Millennium Falcon was there for that battle. I mean, so I don't know exactly what is going on.
But the Falcon's already...
But I don't know, dude. But in either case, that's part of my theory is they go back to Endor. They go back first to the Forest Moon, and then they go there because one of the things that I don't know if you ever read the book The Truce at Bakura.
No.
And Disney's kind of cherry picked which of the legend stuff they pull in and which they leave out, right? Because Thrawn got pulled into canon. Thank goodness. Right. That's been one of the best moves they've made.
I haven't read that book yet. I need to.
It's just a great character overall. But in Truce at Bakura, Leia goes back and revisits Endor. And she's in orbit around the planet, and she passes over the spot where they burned Darth Vader's body, and she blacks out because there's so much concentration of the Force in that spot that I wonder if they're going back to that kind of a thing. That Rey is drawn there or has to go there or something along those lines. But
so if they're going to the Forest Moon of Endor, J.J. Abrams, if you don't give me Ewoks, I will be so mad.
Can you imagine Wicket coming out, some shriveled little gray, shriveled up Ewok?
I need Wicket.
Jabuki-uki.
I need my Wicket fix, man.
He's going to be so old.
They can have baby Ewoks. We can have Wicket Jr.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I need Wicket. Come on. So
what's your big theory, Dave?
My big theory. And
you said I was going to be shocked by this.
Yeah. I've done some research. I'm thinking the only way to truly balance the Force. Skywalkers always tend to go to the dark side. So we have to find a way, somebody who's gone dark, to balance themselves to the light.
Okay.
Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. Rey chooses the light. Ben Solo dies in the dark.
So, sorry, I just have a picture now. Rey walks up because you see the shot in the trailer. There's the Emperor in the floating chair, right? It's kind of hovering. He walks up. He's like, "Rey, come and sit on Granddaddy's knee." You know? I found a quarter, and he pulls a quarter out from behind her ear. Oh, it's gonna be. I got some hard candy for you. But
Rey, that's her granddad.
Interesting.
And I don't. So we don't know his backstory really, and we don't know if he has kids. We don't know if he has a wife. We don't know. But I think somehow we're going to find out that either Rey is a clone of that family or not.
Interesting.
So I think that she's a Palpatine somewhere.
I go the opposite way, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think that Rey is a clone. I think Rey is a clone of a Skywalker, Luke in particular. And I think that she has to turn dark, and I think Ben has to turn light. I still go back to the first movie. I don't think he killed Han Solo. I think Han Solo killed himself to spare his son from that act, because he's never fully been there. He's been a temperamental little brat,
right,
who likes to destroy things, and when he doesn't get his way, he gets really mad. Yeah. But that doesn't scream dark side to me more than it just screams angst. So we'll see.
So
we'll see. I still want to know who dropped Rey on Jakku.
Right. Because she vividly remembers somebody dropping her off.
So why didn't she vividly remember who it was? J.J. Abrams.
Well,
Can't you show us?
We will find out. Here's why I don't think Rey is going to the dark side.
Okay.
Disney has invested too much into Galaxy's Edge. She is in the Rise of the Resistance training video, how they're quote unquote training the new recruits. When you're going
is she really?
Yeah. They film her, welcome new recruits, blah 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 blah. Disney knows what is going to happen. If they were going to make a move or make a ride that is going to be rideable after Rise of the Resistance, or not Rise of the Resistance, after Rise of Skywalker, they would not have put Daisy Ridley as Rey in that pre-show. If she turns bad.
Okay.
Just thinking the Disney way. You're not going to have Rey as a walk-around character to meet, just in a wrestling way. You're not going to have Rey turn heel if she's going to walk around with the good guys, the face characters, the faces.
And so along those same lines, then, if you put in Batuu, that you have Kylo Ren there and he's searching for Jedi, would you always permanently have him walking around if he turns good?
No.
But Batuu,
I mean, yeah.
Right? I mean, along the same lines as what you're saying, but Batuu represents a point in time, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like meeting Ariel before she had her legs, dude. I mean, you have a meet and greet with Ariel before she got her legs.
That is very true.
It's a point in time.
But Batuu
we'll
is
just
not
have to see.
But Batuu is not a point in time because Ryan Street said no, it's not, because Ryan Street said it best that the TIE fighter that's out in the resist or the First Order area is a TIE fighter that they're not using in this movie, but was supposed to be in Rise of Skywalker.
That sounds like an editorial decision to me. But we'll see. We'll see. I just want Kylo to turn. I want my theory to be right. All these people had theories about Snoke and all of that. I want my theory that's gone back to the very first time I saw Force Awakens. That Han Solo saved his son. I want that to be true. And if that's not true, I'm going to have angst. And I'm going to complain.
Won't.
And I'm going to go on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm going to give it a bad review and stomp my feet.
No, you won't. No, you won't. So, do we need to give people a backstory of Black Spire? Because I think people need, in order to understand Galaxy's Edge, I think that we need to talk. We're not going to talk Disney trip today. This is going to be Star Wars. We're already 30 minutes deep. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to talk about the Black Spire Outpost book.
Okay.
Without
giving away major spoilers.
First off, I do think that while it's not as good as Black Spire, I think we did it wrong. I think you needed to read Phasma before you read Black Spire.
Yeah.
Because Black Spire, they talk about what happens in Phasma.
I think they covered it well enough, though. Like, if you really are itching to read Black Spire, you can pull it off like we did. But there's a little bit of backstory and a little bit of context that comes from the Phasma book, written by the same person, and it's a continuation of some things that happen in the Phasma book. But, yeah, I think you could if you wanted to. But yeah, Black Spire overall. I mean, what do you want to tell people?
I mean, we've. I think we need to really go into the backstory of it because, like you said in that tweet that the author of the book actually retweeted us, I do think that Black Spire needs to be required reading for Star Wars fans, or Disney needs to actually get off their booty and make a Black Spire movie.
Get off their booty. They just made an entire book about it.
Well,
bunch of lazy bums.
Well, okay, no, they didn't. Deborah, forgot her last name.
Yeah.
She did. But I think that if you're going to put all of this stuff at Galaxy's Edge, and you're going to actually do some fan service into the movies about it, you need to give some fans the backstory. Because 90% of normal fans will not read that book. Yeah.
Well, and there's some of the descriptions that they give that are just really... Vi Marathi walking through the land. She's the rebel spy that I think is in the pre-show for Rise of the Resistance too. You see her in that quick clip that they released at D23. Mm-hmm. There's somebody there giving a pre-show kind of speech on a hologram.
Side note: is it D23?
Oh, sorry, D23. I don't know why I said that. It's D23.
Okay, I was just okay.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me.
Well, I didn't know if it was a Disney thing.
No, it's D23.
Okay,
and so. She walks through the land. She's out there, and a lot of the stuff in the book is her walking through, and it talks about the Toydarian Toy Maker, which is the little shop that has the toys and the games and the Ronto's roasters, and all of the kind of talks through all of that. But I think the coolest thing about it for me is that it's set in the land, but that's a very intentional, creative choice. Right. Like, you have to integrate those places and you expect to see them. Having been there and then reading the book, it helps you visualize a lot of that. Mm-hmm. But I think the coolest thing for me is that it helps you know and have an appreciation for why things are laid out the way they are.
Right.
When I come in from the Muppet side, or in California, if I come in through, I think it's Critter Country on that end, if I come in through this way, it's just basically this empty space with these mountains and stuff. There's not really a lot out here. The village is all the way on the other side. The Millennium Falcon's not the first thing I see. And all of that's very intentional. And I know all of that was very intentional from like an Imagineering standpoint. We were doing a walk with one of them and said, well, it's interesting you hid the Millennium Falcon. He said, well, to people in Black Spire, they wish they'd leave. It's a big hunk of junk just taking up space. to the people who actually, quote, live in Blackspire, you know. So it's not their big thing. So when you come here, it wouldn't be your big thing, you know.
Right.
And so there's a lot of creative decisions, but it tells you why it is where it is. And my hope is the ruins that the Resistance is building their base in, where you end up.
I hope that's in Rise.
If you read the book as to where she goes through, if that queue replicates that, it makes me excited for all of that stuff. And I think that a lot of people walk through the land. They just want to get to Smuggler's Run. I've got a reservation at Oga's. I'm going to go build a lightsaber. And I've seen people, some of whom are very active in our same podcast circle, say it's a halfway done land and a halfway thought through land. But when you integrate that book with it, it's really not at all.
Oh, it's not at all.
It's not at all that way. It was very intentional on a lot of fronts. So that's why one of the reasons I really hope they bring in Rise of Skywalkers, if you have the book to tell why it's there, and then you have a raison d'etre by having it in the new movie, and there's a reason that it exists, and if Vi actually shows up in the new movie, I will literally pee my pants.
Oh, I'll be so excited.
Because then they will have really connected everything, and now all of the people who said, oh, I can't believe that they're building something that's not tied to any of the movies, if they come on the back end and give them a sucker punch and actually tie it into the last movie, I think it'd make the whole thing worth it. Honestly, it'll change everybody's opinion about it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm okay with it not being tied into the movies right now, because I think I was talking to you about this. Star Wars fandom is a fanboy to a T.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got your crybabies, you've got your you've got your people
every kind of personality.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
If they made Tatooine, or if they made Coruscant, or if they made Cloud City or something where these cities.
Yeah.
If Disney messed up just one minute detail, the internet would blow up.
Yeah.
So I think they did it right by making their own unique outpost that isn't Star Wars, but it is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like they've interwoven Black Spire Outpost into Star Wars lore now.
Yep.
Now, is George Lucas happy about it? Probably not. But George Lucas, like you said, has already screwed up Star Wars.
It's just fun. I mean, it's one of those things, you watch somebody who made something just push it too far. Mm-hmm. And I love George. He's a very creative guy. He has done so much for a lot of our lives in ways that we could never expect when my parents first saw that movie, and when we first saw my first movie in the theater was Return of the Jedi. And still, 36 years later, it's still something that we do every day. Yeah. And there's not much you can say that about. So I think, though, I'm telling you right now, I have this picture in my head, and I know I'm going to be disappointed, but I have this picture in my head of the crawl, right? And at the end of the crawl, it says something about that the true push from the Resistance starts on a backwater planet called Batu, ... And then the first person you see is V. Marati, and you only see her for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But the fact that freaking land is the first thing you see in that movie would be the coolest thing I think they could do.
Yeah, it would.
I know I'm just setting myself up to be disappointed on that front, but that's what I would do, man. I would plug it right there and just shut everybody up about it. But that's just
so the knock on Black Spire is that everyone said, "Oh, this is just an advertisement for Disney." And it is. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
How is it? What do you mean when you say that, though?
And
I'm not towing the company line. I really want you to know.
She walked into Olga's Tavern and she ordered a fuzzy tauntaun, and it's basically everything that was created to tell you about Galaxy's Edge.
And that's what I'm saying is when she's walking through and you hear the names of the stores, and she went to pick up lunch at Ronto Roasters, and I mean, it's obvious that it's there for a reason like that.
Right.
But it's literally not just it could have been a short story or a novella that literally just had a quick story of she showed up, she did some stuff, and she left.
Right.
Did you just fumble the bottle?
I did. I fumbled.
Did you just drop your thermal detonator bottle from Star Wars?
Detonator. Sorry, guys.
But if it was just like a short story or like a 20-minute made-for-TV ABC thing, right? Then that would be a commercial. There's a lot of thought that went into that backstory, and to tie it into Phasma like that and give it continuity within the canon, I think is a big deal. So, I mean, I agree that the book can be that way. I don't think the land is that way, though. I would feel more that way if they tried to recreate the Hoth base Let's just say they did the Hoth base, and they recreated that. That's like, oh, go watch Empire Strikes Back. Now that you've been there, go watch the movie. It feels like a direct tie-in. To do something different, I think, was a bolder move than to recreate anything that we'd already seen.
Oh, I agree, and I truly do think that Disney knows what they're doing. Now, if you had asked me 2 years ago if Disney knew what they were doing, I would have said, bleep, no, they don't.
Yeah.
Just because it's what I'm seeing is not what I need to be seeing. But
well, and it's what you said too. You said that Rise is going to be a lot of fan service in the last movie with JJ, like Force Awakens was. The fact that you see the Ghost from Rebels right behind the Millennium Falcon in that one shot. I mean, if they start bring in a little bit from the books and a little bit from the TV shows and a little bit from Black Spire, and it doesn't have to dominate the story, but those little touches, it's almost like you have to check off all those boxes. This is your last chance, you know, to make all of that stuff make sense. So
yeah. Now I do think what's cool is now that you've got this Black Spire Outpost and Phasma and all these new books, you know, they're talking about making a new trilogy.
Yeah.
Vi can be your new trilogy.
She could.
Because I want to know her backstory. You know, why is knitting her thing? Why, you know, who is Captain Cardinal? We don't know anything about Captain Cardinal except for if you've read or listened to, like I have, Phasma and Black Spire. Yeah. So I think that there are some great stories you can go on. Like we don't know anything about Hermitage or whatever General Hux's dad.
Brendol Hux.
Brendol Hux. Yeah. We don't know anything about Brendol Hux except for what we've learned in Phasma.
Yeah.
So we can go down that Brendol Hux road.
Yeah. So here's my question for you.
Okay.
We know they don't completely go back in time. Sorry, I'm going to go back to what we were talking about before. I'm going to go back in time to talk about time travel.
But it's back in time.
Because we get old Lando, right? We don't get CGI young Lando. So what is he there for? How does he play into all this? What's your theory behind that?
Fan service.
Just fan service?
Just fan service. I mean,
hello, what have we here? And he just shows up and starts flying the Falcon?
He'll probably be there to fly the Falcon. I mean, they might go to him and somebody will go to him and say, hey, we need somebody to fly the Falcon. Han's dead, so...
Aren't you tired of making all this money mining gas? And
yeah.
Don't you want to come risk your life again kind of thing?
Don't you want to be a pansexual over here? And oops.
But seriously, I mean, you know, because I know that the Finn thing was a theory for a while, that he was Lando's kid. And knowing that the First Order does take orphans and young children, that's laid out pretty clearly in the Phasma book. And I think a little bit, too, in the other stuff is that they take children and they raise them up from children now and go after orphans specifically so they can indoctrinate them at a young age.
I don't think the timing adds up.
Yeah.
Because he would have to have been... Lando would have had to have been in his, 30s in Empire? Or in Return?
Yeah.
And they're saying Return is 40 years after... Or Return is 40 years before Awakens.
So Lando's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
So he'd have had to have Finn when he was like in his late 40s, 50s.
Yeah, I don't think that theory lines up.
Okay. I just hope he has a reason to be there.
I think Chewie just goes after him. Chewie just knows that, you know, the Falcon belonged to Lando before, and we need somebody to pilot the Falcon. Rey can't do it because she's off gallivanting somewhere else,
running around indoor and fighting Kylo Ren, having Force visions with him out of shirt on and all that stuff.
Fighting, Force visions.
So then, okay, what about the scene in the trailer where Rey and Kylo Ren are destroying that place where he puts Darth Vader's helmet?
See, okay, I don't know. That's where I don't know.
I'm flabbergasted.
And then that's also the same part of the trailer where Palpatine's saying, "You have come together will be your undoing."
Yes.
Is that a collective you, meaning the Resistance? Is that a you, as in you and Kylo come together will be your undoing, Rey? Is it you as in you and Kylo's undoing?
I don't know, and I want to know today.
English language is so tough when it comes to that.
I want to know today.
I want to know today, but I don't want Disney to tell any more in a trailer.
No, well, they're not going to.
Look, as much as I like spoilers, I don't want to be spoiled at this.
No, you can't be with this one.
At 9:50, December 19th, I will turn my phone off.
Yes.
And
well, you better turn it off before that.
Look,
we have shows here as early as 6 o'clock. So
if anybody knows me, for me to turn my phone off,
that's a big deal.
Big deal. My phone will be off.
They should make a movie just about you doing that. It's such a big deal.
There will be no interrupting me watching this movie.
No trips to the bathroom?
I will piss in my pants.
Well, that's why I'm hoping they show Vi. If they show Vi and I do pee in my pants, I'm done. I'm good for the rest of the movie. I don't have to worry about it.
So we're going with some friends of ours that I've seen all the 3 sequels with, and man, we were talking. We had to do 6 in one row and 2 in another row, and we said, "Oh, we could put Amanda with this other person," and Amanda said, "No, probably not good because she doesn't like it when you talk in movies. I'll have to ask questions." I said, "Well, don't sit next to me."
Yep.
Dave, why is... Shut up.
Shut up. We don't know yet.
Ask me later.
Here, go read this book.
Well, actually, she read Black Spire. I listened to Black Spire all the way down to Disney and back, and she listened to the whole thing with me. I was kind of proud of her. I was very proud of her. She actually enjoyed it. She thought she wouldn't enjoy it, but listening to Phasma now, I don't think she would enjoy it as much as I just dropped my thermal detonator again. I don't.
You're going to blow us all to pieces.
I don't think she will. TSA would think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think she would enjoy Phasma as much as she enjoyed Black Spire because Phasma is so much backstory, and where Black Spire is all action, Phasma is just a lot of muddling.
Wait.
Okay, I'm at the nuclear. Her brother has just come after.
Okay, her brother got to that weird gold thing in the desert and then came after. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'm at the.
Okay, so you've gotten through all the consistent. That was the one thing for me. That middle section, is like chapter 20, 10 years ago on Parnassus.
Right.
They're walking through the desert and everything's fine, and then all of a sudden something happens again.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, come on.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I get why they do it now, having heard the whole thing, but in the middle of it, I'm like, seriously, they can't just go like 5 miles without something happening. But,
yeah. The book. So that book kept me awake driving back from Tuscaloosa at midnight. I listened to it was about a 3-hour trip. Should have been 2.5 hours, but because of the traffic.
3-hour trip.
Yeah. I stopped at 2 gas stations and bought 2 Bang energy drinks just because. Dude.
You got home, you're like, I'm going to go cut the grass.
No, I fell right asleep. And, hey, pat on my back. I made it to the 9 o'clock service.
Wow, look at you, man.
Hey, the pastor even said, "Did I see you on Facebook at the game at midnight?" I said, "Yep." I said,
and then you asked your pastor. "Why were you up at midnight?"
Well, because he was watching the game.
Oh, okay.
He said, and then I said, "Oh, I did ask him." I said, "Well, Paul, you're a Mississippi State fan. Why are you watching the game?" He said, "I have to know what it feels like to win, so I root for Alabama."
Oh my gosh. Well, the colors are close enough, right? I mean, you can kind of get yourself there.
Exactly. So see, if you come up to the LSU game, you can come to Summit with me.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Campaign.
Or any other game, since I have an open.
Or any other game, but we know that the flights are cheap. The
starting price of the flight is cheap, yes.
But you can pack.
So, what are your other theories for the Skywalker? Hit me with your last big opinion. Not about the story, just about something from the trailer that you think is going to be a big deal or not. Hit me.
So I think where we see C-3PO dying, he's
potentially
dying. No, he's dying. I think that the reason his eyes turn red in that one trailer is they have to trap Palpatine in the droid. And all of that dark side goes into C-3PO.
Well, I am Emperor Palpatine. Human cyborg relations. Well, sorry,
But I mean, it makes sense because they're in that. It's that same area where we see him with the red eyes in the one trailer, and in this trailer, he says, "I'm looking at my family for the last time." Mm-hmm. He's dying. That is a true. He's dying there.
Not just deactivated, but
no, he's dying.
Fully gone.
Fully
gone.
Gone. To quote, the Duck Dynasty. He gone. So yeah, that's my thought.
Okay. I think I'll throw my last one out there. I think that Palpatine is still alive. And I think that when you see those Star Destroyers breaking out of all that stuff, I think you're going to find that he's been navigating this whole thing together. And it's the Skywalker saga, but it could also be called the Palpatine saga. Because when he was Darth Sidious / Chancellor Palpatine, he was the one holding the strings with Padme and Anakin and making sure they were always together and that kind of thing. Then he was there orchestrating what he thought would be Luke's turn in the second set of 3, and then Luke and Darth Vader turned on him. I think he's been orchestrating everything to lead up to this point. The Force visions and all that, I think were him, and he's been orchestrating it now.
So where's he been?
He's been on Endor, with the Death Star crashed on the planet of Endor. And I think he has built up an entire fleet that he brings out. And that's what all those ships are from the Rebellion side, is they meet up and they collide. This fleet that he's been building up for 40 years, and then all of the Resistance people they've been able to get together have to have one huge space battle at the end.
So Kylo's going to be Supreme Leader.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden Palpatine shows up and says, "Hey guys, no, really, I'm Supreme Leader."
Kylo's gonna be Supreme Leader of the First Order, and Palpatine's gonna show up and say, all of that doesn't really mean anything. The First Order, all of that, just like the clone troopers and everything else were at his command, all of that he was allowing to happen, and ultimately he's the one that's trying to get in power, and Kylo's just a pawn. And that's when Kylo turns. Because Kylo's just been a tool. Well, a tool for Palpatine.
I mean...
So there you go.
So here's my hot take.
Take it.
Where you don't like Hayden Christensen, I think Adam Driver has been that kind of a hire for this.
Really?
I don't really... To me, Adam Driver is dry.
But at least he can make himself, believably angry.
No, he doesn't to me.
Really?
No. He's just been there.
There.
He's brooding. He's emo.
Okay, so was Hayden. I guess there you go then. So was Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, he is this. I mean, I don't hate Kylo Ren like I hated Darth Vader. And I think that's what...
Maybe you're not supposed to.
Well, but what's missing... Oh, that's a goal. Why is that not... Okay, that's a goal.
Are you commenting on hockey on our show, Dave?
Yeah, I'm watching...
No, we don't comment on hockey on this show. Come on.
Okay. I think what this prequel is missing, or the sequel is missing, all throughout the prequels, we had somebody that we hated. All throughout the original, we had somebody that we hated.
Hayden Christensen.
I don't hate anybody in these sequels. I sympathize with Kylo sometimes. And we're not supposed to do that.
That's because he's not completely dark, man.
Okay, so who's the bad guy? Snoke?
You're going to find out that the whole time you're going to find out that it was Palpatine.
I just... As cool as it's going to be to see Palpatine back on the screen, I need a Darth Vader type guy to hate. I don't need I don't like standing here with my shirt on. I don't like my helmet is too tight.
Yeah, how about I'm flying in a TIE fighter and I blew up the bridge that killed my own mother?
He couldn't.
But he was going to do it.
No,
he
he
was
didn't.
pondering it. But
he didn't.
Pondering
He didn't pull the button. Somebody else did.
Why is that?
Because he was fighting with himself.
Why is he fighting with himself, Dave?
Because he doesn't know how dark he truly is. And
or maybe he doesn't understand how light he truly is.
No, he's not light. Because, okay, so watch the trailer again. When Rey and Kylo, and I had to slow it down and pause it. When Rey and Kylo were talking to each other, and you see him you hear him ignite his lightsaber, I thought for a second that you see a glimmer of white, but you don't. It's just, yeah. I thought for a second it was. If they bring in kyber crystals, though, then you will be talking about Black Spire.
So, speaking of the words black and kyber crystals, have you heard that there is a black kyber crystal?
Yes, and I want it.
I have to find this. I found out about this today.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know about this until today. I have to know what this is all about. It makes it evidently still red on the lightsaber, but the holocron does something. So does black kyber play into this new movie?
Huh. Maybe.
Somehow. And that's why it's rare right now, because maybe they're not supposed to put it on the shelf.
Well, let me ask you
and
this.
Whoops, every now and then one sneaks through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here can be the next poll on Facebook or wherever.
Yeah.
So Rise of the Resistance starts December 5th, right?
Yeah.
My last trip that I have planned is, well, a month from now, so before December 5th.
Yeah.
Do you think that I will find a way to get to Orlando in December?
Well, we know how cheap flights are, Dave.
Actually, I just looked up. It's more expensive coming from this way to that way.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Do you think that there would be any way that I will find a way to get down to Orlando between any time in December?
No.
You say
that
no?
would be my vote. That would be my vote. I would say no.
Challenge accepted.
Well, I won't. I mean, they're not even doing any kind of cast preview or anything like that.
It's
and my ticket's going to be blocked out. So have fun. Let me know how it is.
Oh, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: Is Hotel de Russell open if I do find a way?
Sure.
Okay.
Hotel de Russell.
And what about the Magical Russell Express?
Yeah. I may not get you there at rope drop if I have to drop off the kids at school first, but you know.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'm talking about from the airport to the hotel.
Yeah, I'll pick you up at 1 o'clock because that went so well last time.
God, dude.
Anyway.
It wasn't horrible. Hey, we've got an hour just talking about Star Wars.
I love it.
All right.
All right, dude.
Well, we got it. We got to end this. So, if anybody wants to get a hold of the show, we've got a plethora of ways to do it now. The old school way is
650-UAB-SHOW. Spell that out on your keypad. Give us a call. Leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show and we'll discuss it.
And by the way, did you see the big tub of sour cream on the table at the tailgate?
Yes, I did.
I was going to open it and see the dollop, but my mom had already opened it before I got
no. But did she lick it when she opened it? That's the question.
No, she didn't. She threw it away. I can't believe it.
But what's the new school way to get a hold of us, Dave? To find out anything you ever wanted to know about our show, what's the new school way to do it?
Unrelatedатbirth.com.
It's that easy.
That easy.
It is that easy.
We're on YouTube at Unrelated at Birth. We got two vlogs out there right now.
Vlog.
I'm going on a cruise in November. There'll probably be a vlog there. I don't know how I'm going to get you clips.
Just save them.
Okay. You got some stuff coming up this month, don't you?
What'd you sign me up for?
A trip to Tuscaloosa. No, I'm just kidding.
You jerk.
But anyway.
My beach trip and Thanksgiving, I'm actually planning a blog post about some stuff that's been going on with the kids.
To where?
So yeah, there'll be more stuff.
Also,
to a secret place that we shall not name, like last time.
That website does have our blog. I just wrote a blog about Big Tom's Tailgate.
Yep.
Adam had one from way back in August.
Hey, I did mine. It was your turn, dude.
Hey, I did a good one. It was a long read too. I actually put a lot of pictures up there.
That's good.
So
yeah, it's got our blog, link. You can play our YouTube videos directly from there.
Instagram.
You can check out our Insta feed directly from there. If you go to the shop tab, you can shop for merch directly from there without leaving the site. And it's got a couple of bios. We're always going to be adding stuff to it and refreshing the content. So check that out, not just once, but several times. Make it part of your daily routine.
There you go. Smile. And also, if you want to check us out on Twitter, of course, I am at dadams419. He is at RunTideRun. The show is at Not Related Bros. Instagram, we are at dadams419, at RunTideRun, and at Unrelated at Birth. I don't have a show that we can do our little ending to. So, do you have one you want to eulogize?
No, I think we should harken back to the sideline warning days. We say it every week.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
So, guys, we said it last week. We're going to say it this week. We say it every week. We love you guys. We do mean it because we do love hearing the feedback to how we've done. I mean, I've heard a couple of things this week about how our show is, and we love hearing that. And by the way, don't say it because she listens to the show now, Adam.
Don't say what?
That she was just walking upstairs.
Herd of turtles.
Turtle.
I like turtles.
But anyway, guys, we love you guys. We do mean it, and we enjoy hearing your feedback. The fact that you take an hour out of your day to listen to two random guys just goof off and talk about Star Wars or talk about their
wild
life.
and random guys.
Wild and crazy guys.
Hey.
Anyway, guys, we love you. We'll see y'all next week. Roll Tide. And
may the force be with you.
Yeah, may the force be with you. Yay!
There you go.
Yay! There you go. Yeah, that's Kermit says, yay!
Yay!
See y'all next week.
Bye, guys.